Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Alright, YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we are going to be doing another review on Daredevil Born Again Episode 4, a review and a recap. And as obvious, let's go into some background. Daredevil was made in April 1964 by Stan Lee and Bill Everett. Live action, he was played by Ben Affleck in the 2003 film, and now currently played by Charlie Cox in the 2015 Netflix series, which ran for 3 seasons. And he reappeared in the MCU as Peter's lawyer in No Way Home. He was in She-Hulk, Echo, and now has his own show once again, Daredevil Born Again. And yeah, so without further ado, spoiler warnings ahead. Let's get into the review and recap. So, White Tiger's clothes is being put in an evidence bag. Matt talks with the mortician about what happened to White Tiger. Matt talks to White Tiger's niece. We see our first glimpse of Muse as he's holding the body, which, if you don't know, Muse is actually the main villain of the season. Daredevil was talking to his partner about Hector's niece coming to the morgue and that he has to go see someone for a possible new case. Kingpin and his wife are in another session, which their therapist is the same woman that is dating Matt, aka Daredevil. And his wife is asked about why she had an affair. We find out it was due to Kingpin reminding her of her father who left all the time. Kingpin says he didn't know and that he only talked to the guy she had an affair with and he did nothing else to him, didn't hurt him, anything like that. Then the therapist asked them the same question that they had in their first session, which was therapy meant to dissolve or fix a relationship? Matt meets with his new client who stole food but claims he didn't despite there's evidence and even suggested it was a scroll, which was pretty funny that, like, that scrolls got mentioned in the show. Matt goes and tries to get him probation. When Matt goes to tell his client what he was able to do for him, which was only get him 10 days in prison, the he runs into the cop that he fought with, who was trying to kill the key witness in the White Tiger case. He suspects that he had something to do with White Tiger's death, but he could hear his heartbeat and hear that he was telling the truth. Fisk wants to do this big construction overhaul in the city, but realizes that politics and things like that doesn't work like that. He has to get a whole bunch of things approved and all that stuff, and that he can't just do it just because he wants to. So then Matt tells his client what he got done for him, which, like I said, was 10 days in jail only. And his client explains how the system is rigged and how he has to eat disgusting stuff and he just wanted to eat something that he paid for, the previous week and all this stuff. And it was actually a pretty sad scene. I do say you should watch it. And his life is being affected, like by, you know, the cruelty of the world. Fisk sees an article about his plans and gets furious and wants to know who accidentally leaked the information, which it was Daniel. And after apologizing profusely, Daniel gets to keep his job. But Kingpin says if he ever does it again, he won't live to apologize again. Matt finds a shell casing to the bullet used on White Tiger and knows where to look for answers, as the bullet casing had Punisher's logo on it. So we get to see him and Punisher have one of the best conversations in the MCU in recent history as they go back and forth and have this whole thing on how Punisher believes that Daredevil went to him kind of for, like, to get permission to basically come back as Daredevil despite doing what he did to Bullseye, and that he basically said that Foggy was a better man than both him and Punisher could ever be, and that they can only work to like be that good. And Punisher basically says that, like, Daredevil could hear Foggy still, and that's why he's having so much issues because he claims that he can hear his son whenever he stops moving, whenever he just, tries to take a break, and his son tells him, "Go get the bad guys, Dad." So that's why Punisher keeps going. So that was very, very emotional. He, told Daredevil, not Daredevil, he told Punisher that, Bullseye got life, that, he let the system do what it had to do, but Punisher was like, but that wasn't good enough, was it? So then Daredevil goes home and looks at all his suits after he did it with his girlfriend and starts training. And then we see the big shocking reveal is that Fisk was having dinner and we find out that he has Adam the guy who was having an affair with Vanessa, his wife, while he was gone, has him in a cell. And as he screams out for help, we see that Matt takes kind of one of his weapons that he trains with and kind of throws it towards like the camera. And that is how the episode ends. So that was the recap. Now to go into the review, simple enough. Punisher returned. It was good to see John Bernthal back. Kingpin trying his best as mayor, but we're seeing kind of the cracks into how he used to be. Clearly, with him having this guy held like prisoner in his own house or whatever like that, and threatening to basically kill Daniel in front of his other staff and things like that. We clearly see that Daredevil is going to come back to being Daredevil probably in the next episode. He's going to wear the suit again, so that's good. It's like I said, it's just real slow. Muse has been on and off, like getting kind of appearances and seeing graffiti of him, stuff like that. So actually getting the first glimpse of him finally is good. Hopefully it ramps up very much so, because I really want to see what Muse has to offer as a villain. So I give it a 9.5 out of 10, just because for that conversation between Punisher and Daredevil alone was just so immaculate. So without further ado, that was my recap and review of episode 4 here for Daredevil Born Again. I say, man, watch the series if you have not watched it. And as I wrap this up, make sure you leave a like, a comment, subscribe, click the notification bell to never miss a video. This will be in the playlist with the previous episodes of my recaps and reviews to the series so you don't miss anything. And I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.